Hey bestie, can we talk for a minute? Today I was thinking about something you might feel, even if you don't always know how to put it into words: female friendship. Not that surface level social media friendship or small talk kind of thing. I'm talking about that real connection, the kind that makes you feel seen, supported, understood in a way only another woman truly gets. You know when you watch a movie and see two friends laughing, crying, lifting each other up, growing together? Yeah, we grew up seeing that in movies, cartoons, books. Since we're little, we're surrounded by this idea that every girl has a best friend, a confidant, a ride or die. And without even realizing it, we carry that expectation in our hearts, like it's just a natural part of life. But real life doesn't always follow that movie script, right? Sometimes that best friend never shows up, or she comes and goes. Or she's there, but we still feel lonely anyway. And then comes that weird feeling like something's missing. Like there's a piece of the puzzle we can't find. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. That space that female friendship takes up in our hearts. We talk a lot about romantic love, but barely anything about this kind of love between friends that, when it's missing, leaves such a huge emptiness. So if you're ready for a mental, physical, and spiritual glow up, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing. Girl, from really early on, we're taught without anyone even needing to say it out loud, but a girl is supposed to have a best friend. It's in the cartoons, in the movies, in the stories people tell us. Barbie always has Teresa, Blair has Serena, we see the Powerpuff Girls together, the Winx Club, Anne and Diana. Every female character has her bestie. And then, over time, we start to believe we need to find our forever friend for life to feel complete. Like, if I don't have my person, is there something wrong with me? And it doesn't stop there. In school, if you don't have a best friend, you become the third wheel, or worse, the one who's always left out. We grew up thinking female friendship isn't just important, it's almost mandatory. Like it's some kind of childhood trophy. And that sticks with us, even if we don't realize it. But the problem is the expectation grows with us too. Because life happens. And it's not always like the movies, right? Sometimes that childhood best friend moves away. Sometimes we drift apart without even noticing. Sometimes there's a falling out that hurts even more than a breakup. And suddenly, you're without the one person who felt like home. Or worse, you never had someone like that at all. And then that quiet doubt creeps in. You start wondering, is something wrong with me? And the craziest part is, on social media, it looks like everyone else has that. You scroll through Instagram and see the pictures of besties on trips, laughing, toasting, living their best lives. And you're there on the other side of the screen, feeling that little sting in your chest. Because sure, you have people around you. But that deep connection, that soul-level bond where someone looks at you and just knows what you're feeling. That feels so far away, so out of reach. And then a different kind of loneliness kicks in. It's not the loneliness of being single or of literally being alone. It's the loneliness of not having another woman to carry life's weight with you. Someone to remind you who you are when the world tries to make you forget. And that hurts. And it's exhausting, because no one prepares you for that kind of absence. There's something beautiful that only friendship between women can create. It's not just about company, it's about comfort. It's that space where you can be soft without fear. Where you can say you're feeling insecure, or that you cried in the shower, or that you're just tired of everything. It's a kind of exchange that goes deeper than words. It's about seeing yourself in someone else, and it's a different kind of strength. Because when two women truly support each other, one lifts the other up. Female friendship has this quiet power. It doesn't need much to be deep. Sometimes just sitting in silence together brings peace. It's magic. And rare. And when it happens, it changes everything. That's why, when you find a friendship like that, take care of it. Not with pressure, not with fear of losing it, but with presence. Female friendship doesn't have to be daily or perfect or the same all the time. Sometimes you disappear for a bit, sometimes both of you are dealing with chaos. But when it's real, the reunion is always full of love and zero judgment. And just knowing there's a woman out there rooting for you, celebrating your wins, holding you through your losses, that's priceless. Because in this fast-paced, demanding life full of expectations, having someone who sees you with genuine affection is a breath of fresh air, a relief, a blessing. And then comes the question, okay, but what about when we don't have that? And that's what I want to talk about. Because not every woman has a friend to call her own. Sometimes life pulls people away. Sometimes we close off out of fear, trauma, so many disappointments that it feels safer to be alone. And that's okay if that's your case. Really, you're not wrong. And more importantly, you're not alone because you're less worthy of love or friendship. You're just in a different moment, and that doesn't define you. I know it can hurt seeing everyone else leaning on each other and feeling like you've got nowhere to turn. And you don't. But the truth is, you've got yourself. You have to learn to enjoy your own company, no matter how cliché that sounds. Building that bond with yourself is one of the most powerful things you can do. If you don't have that friend outside of you yet, why not start by being that friend to yourself? Friendship with yourself needs to be built too, and it's the foundation for all the others. And hey, life changes. Sometimes out of nowhere, an amazing person crosses your path. Sometimes it's a classmate who turns into a confidant. Sometimes it's someone you never expected. But while that's not happening yet, open up to yourself. Treat yourself with the same care you'd give to a dear friend. Spoil yourself, listen to yourself, forgive yourself. Because you deserve love, especially your own. And when you become your own best friend, everything else flows more naturally. Trust me, sometimes we think being alone is the same as being lonely. But it's not. Being alone can actually be a precious moment of connecting with yourself. And yeah, maybe at first it feels a little weird, the awkward silence, you know? But it's in that silence that you really start to hear yourself. You start to notice what you like, what makes you feel good, what's just other people's expectations, and what's actually yours. Being okay on your own doesn't mean you don't want anyone else. It just means you've learned not to depend on someone else to feel whole. And when you start actually liking your own company, everything shifts. Taking yourself out becomes freedom, not neediness. Eating at a restaurant alone turns into a pleasure, not shame. Staying home on a Saturday night with a glass of wine and your favorite movie isn't loneliness. It's self-care. You become that friend who is always there, just waiting to be noticed. And the most beautiful part? When you feel good with yourself, you start attracting healthier, lighter relationships. Because you're not looking for someone to fill you, you're looking to share. And look, there's no magic formula. It's a process. Some days you'll feel totally at peace with yourself, and others the loneliness will hit hard. That's okay. You don't have to demand emotional perfection from yourself. What matters is understanding that you deserve to treat yourself with the same kindness you'd want from a friend, and that starts with the little things. Being gentle with yourself on bad days, celebrating your wins, laughing at your own inside jokes, journaling your feelings. All of that is friendship with yourself. And when that friendship blooms, you become your own foundation, your own home, your best company, and no one can take that from you. Okay, but what else can you do? Well, the first thing we can do, and maybe the most important, is to stop comparing ourselves. Other women's lives on social media might look perfect, full of friends by their side, but you don't know what's behind those pictures. Everyone feels lonely sometimes, even the ones surrounded by people. So instead of comparing, how about just letting yourself feel what you feel without guilt? If you're feeling lonely, it doesn't mean you're weak or less deserving of love. It just means you're human. And recognizing that is already a huge step. Another thing that really helps is opening up, even if it's little by little. You know that classmate you kinda like but never really talk to? Or that old friend you drifted from but still miss? Sometimes it's just one message away from reconnecting. You don't have to force intimacy or rush into finding a best friend. Just start building little bridges. Honest conversations, simple invites, easy exchanges. Friendship is built with time, with presence, and with a real effort to see the other person, and that starts with small gestures. And last but definitely not least, let's be the kind of friends we're looking for. Seriously, so often we're waiting to be cared for, to be heard, to be remembered. But are we also offering that? Sometimes just a "hey, I thought about you today," or "how are you really?" can change someone's whole day. And when we create that habit of caring for and showing up for other women, even in the smallest ways, we build connections that can grow into real friendships. Female friendship is also a space for collective building. And when we take that first step, other women feel safer to do the same. If I can leave you with one last thing, it's this: you're not alone. Even if it feels like no one gets what you're going through right now, even if you look around and don't see a best friend nearby, you're still worthy of love, of connection, of real bonds. And your journey is valid exactly the way it is. Sometimes the path really does start with us learning to love ourselves, to listen to ourselves, to care for ourselves with patience. And with time, that love that starts inside begins to grow, and you'll come across people who truly see you. Until then, just know there are so many women out there just like me, like you, going through the same doubts, fears, and quiet moments. And we're here holding each other up. Always. That's it. I love you.